everybody, and welcome to Fortunate Creations. I'm Kim, and this is a channel where we talk about everything to do with crafting. So from amigurumi to weaving and everything in between. If you like crafting and being creative, stick around. I think you're going to like it here. So today I want to talk about the basics of crochet. And when I say basic, I mean somebody says to themselves, I want to learn to crochet, and they walk into the craft store or into a Walmart or one of the big box stores, and they're standing in the aisle with all of the yarn and all of the hooks. Where do they start? That's where I want to start with you today. That's where we're going to start right now. So here's the basics. What do you need? You need one skein of yarn. You can call it a skein. You can call it a skein. I've even heard people call it a ball of yarn. And it's not even a ball. It looks like this. So here we go. I highly recommend you start with something close to Red Heart Super Saver. There's also the loops and threads. There's also a lot of the, the lower in expense yarns, okay? You don't want to go ahead and get the most expensive yarn when you're just learning, because you want something that's forgiving. You want something that's easy to work with and very versatile. So I highly recommend grab yourself one skein of Red Heart Super Saver. You don't need 10 of them. You don't need 10 different colors. You don't need all the colors. Although warning, someday you might end up with them because yarn is like potato chips. You can never have just one. But let's get back to what we're doing. So grab yourself one of these, okay? Put that in your cart. Now, the next thing you're going to need is a set of hooks. There are so many hooks out there. Well, check this out, okay? This is my collection of hooks. You're like, wow, that's a lot of hooks. Yeah, it's too many hooks. I don't use half of the ones I have in here. Here's my favorite hook. I use this hook 90% of the time on my projects because I like a certain weight yarn and I like this hook. So I make sure when I'm doing projects, be it blankets, sweaters, you name it, I make sure that the weight yarn I'm using goes good with my hook. So don't get yourself all caught up in the different hooks for different this and get yourself one basic hook. And don't worry about why are the colors different. Here's a good example, okay? Here are two size 6 hooks. Let me make sure. Okay, there's one, and there's one. Why are their colors different? Well, just because different manufacturers. It doesn't matter the color. You're gonna look here at the size, okay? Get yourself a hook. I highly recommend just a basic. They sell them single. You don't need to spend on a whole set. You're just learning. So I say grab yourself one hook. A lot of the projects go anywhere from a 4.5 to a 6. So I'm going with a 5.5 for this today. So here we go. We're going to start with one skein of yarn and one hook. And I'm going to show you seriously the basic start to 99% of my projects. You're going to learn how to make a slip knot. And you're going to learn how to do a chain. And then we're going to show you how to do the basic row of a single crochet. So we're not going to get into the granny squares and we're not going to get into any pattern. Today is seriously just pick a hook, pick some yarn, and let's learn how to do a chaining row and a row of single crochet. Come on, let's do this. Okay, so we just got back from the big box store. And we are going to practice crochet. We're all excited. Here we go. Very basic. Putting all those other hooks away. Nobody else matters right now except for this one skein of yarn and this one hook. And I said it right. I said skein. Okay. First thing you're going to learn is when you have a new yarn, you can either pull it from the outside. It goes on around the outside, or you can pull it from the center. Right in here. This is what I prefer because then the skein isn't flopping all around wherever you're working. So let's start there. Okay, so here we go. We've got one piece of yarn and we've got one basic hook. where do we start? We're going to start with the slip knot. So pinch your yarn between your finger and thumb, okay? You're going to pinch it and you're going to cross over. That's it. You're holding it just like that, okay? So there it is. Hold it like this, pinch it, and cross over, and pinch it again, okay? So now we're just holding it pinched like that. You're going to take this, poke it through here, slide it over, pull it up. There you go. Want to see it again? Let's do it again. Okay, we're going to pinch it and flip it over. We're going to pinch it and we're going to flip it over. There you go. That is your basic slip knot. That is what starts 99% of every project I do. We'll do it one more time. Here's your string. Leave a little tail at the end, okay? Bring it over, pinch it, bring it through, and you're done, okay? Now, the next thing you want to do, and go ahead and do that 50, 100 times until you've got it and you don't even have to think about it. Here we go. We're going to do this, okay? Pull it out, try it again. We're going to do this, okay? Now, once you have your slip knot, how do you get from a slip knot onto here? Super easy. You take it and you just tighten it right on there, and there you go. You've got your slip knot attached to your hook and you are ready to go. So again, 99% of the projects that I start with a chain, a base chain. What does that mean? It means it is a row of stitches that is going to be the length of the project that you're going to make. So if you're making a blanket, you might chain somewhere upwards of 120. If you're making a scarf, you might chain as few as 15. So we're going to start with teaching you how to chain a row of 10. So right now you've got your slip knot on your hook, okay? And you've got your working yarn. The working yarn is the yarn that is still attached to your skein over here. That's the one you're going to keep pulling from the inside, and that's the one that's attached, okay? This is called your tail, and you're not going to worry about the tail for right now. We tuck them in at the end. So what you're going to do is you're holding your working yarn and your hook, okay? I like to grab it like this. So I'm holding the tail here, I'm holding this free to work the yarn and the hook, okay? So you're going to keep the tension. This is important. This is your vice grip. This is what determines the tension of your work. You want to try to keep it as consistent as possible throughout your chain, because that helps the rest of your project be square and equal throughout the whole thing. So here we are, we're holding it, okay? I've got it pinched between these two fingers, pinched between those two fingers, and I'm free to hold my hook here. So I'm going to take my hook, I'm going to cross it over the working yarn, and I'm going to grab onto it. And I'm going to pull it through. There's my first chain. We're going to do it again. Ready? It's attached. You're going to go over the yarn, under the yarn, turn it, and pull. Okay? Keeping the tension, keeping this held. You can move your hands up as far as that goes, because you want to make sure, you can't keep holding down there. Your fingers can't stretch that far. So again, over the yarn, under the yarn, turn it, and pull through. Over the yarn, under the yarn, turn it, and pull. Up, move up your hands a little bit, keep the tension consistent. Under the yarn, there we go. Under the yarn, over the yarn, turn it, and pull. And it's that simple. Let me get that yarn out of the way. Okay, I'm going to keep going. There we go. Okay, over the yarn, under the yarn, pull it, and pull through. Over the yarn, under the yarn, pull it. And now we're making our chain. Okay, Best part of this is I need more practice. Pull it out. That's called frogging it. Just another term, and we're going to start over. So here we go. Let's do the slip knot. Put this hook through, get our tension going. Okay. Over, under, around, and through. Over, under, around, and through. And you just keep going. Over, under, around, and through. Until you get your chain over, under, around, and through. Till you get it as long as you want it. Okay. There we go. So I'd like you to go ahead and keep practicing, and then we're going to do a chain of, let's do 10. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to start over, and I'm going to do a chain of 10. Here's my slip knot. Okay, there's that. Then I'm going to do a chain of 10. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there we go. There is my base chain of 10. Practice that a couple times, pull it out, start over. All right. Once you do that, let's go ahead and we're going to do a base chain. We're going to add 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I have a base chain of 15. You're going to notice that a lot of the projects you start are going to tell you how long your base chain needs to be. Some of them, they'll say any even number. Some of them will say any odd number. Sometimes they'll say you need a count of 4 plus 2. Don't get yourself all involved in all of that yet. Right now, we're just practicing. Let's just do a chain of 15. So here we are. We've got it. Now, I'm going to show you how to take this chain and turn it into a chain with a row of single crochet. So here's the chain on your hook. We never count that one. Okay, and here's the first chain, and there's the second chain. So the chain on your hook doesn't count. First chain you're skipping, and the second chain. You're going to take your hook and go right into that second chain. Right there. Okay, want to see it again? Here's the one on your hook. We're skipping the first chain. We're going into the second chain. Right there. Here's your working yarn. Now, just as you did while you were doing your chain, you're going to go under, over, around, and pull it through just one of them. Okay? I'm going to show you that again. So here we are. First chain, second chain that we're ignoring. Sorry, my camera's going blurry. Second chain from the hook. So you want the one that's on the hook doesn't count. Let me get that loose again. It tightened itself up. There's the first one, and here is the second. So we're going to go right into the second. Pull it up. That is called pulling up a loop. So you're going into the second chain from your hook and pulling up a loop. And here they hang on there. You're going to go again, and now you're going to go through both of them. So there you go. You just did your first single crochet on that row. We're going to do it again. You ready? Here's your working yarn. Here's your hook. Here's the next chain. Going to go right into that chain, under the yarn, over the yarn, and pull it through. 2 on your hook. You're going to yarn over. That's called yarning over. When you go over and you grab a piece of the yarn, you're yarning over, and you're going to pull through both. And there's your next single crochet. Very basic. I know if some of you know how to crochet, you're probably like, are you kidding me? But after trying to teach my niece, I realized there are some people who haven't been taught this yet. So this is why I'm doing it. So here's the next chain. We're going to do it again. Now know that the first row is very difficult. The rest of it gets easier. Pull up that, go right through, and there you go, another. And you can see right now you're starting to make a row of single crochet. Keep going. We're going to go one more time. Ready? Into the next one. Under, pull up a loop. Under, around, and pull it through. Okay, here we go. Next one. Right into that next chain, under, pull it in, pulling up a loop. That's what that's called. You're going to go under, hook it, and pull it through. Next one, here we go. Under the yarn, pull up a loop, twist it, pull it, and there we go. Now you can see here we have this yarn making this row of single crochet. So let's go ahead and keep going to the end. I know it's repetitive, but I want to make sure you have it. So we're going to do it again into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull it through both. Okay, go into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through both. Stop me and rewind it and go over and over it again if you need to, because this is literally called the base, and you need this before any of your other projects, before you learn any other stitch. This is called the single crochet, and this is the base for most stitches, okay? Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull it through. Go through, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through. We're going to keep doing this until we get to the end. There's only a couple more left, so I'm going to go ahead and finish it out with you. Here we go. Now, we're at the end, okay? There's the knot, and I'm at the last stitch. So I'm going to go through, pull up a loop, yarn over like normal. And now what? Now we want to see, well, okay, now I want to do another row. Okay, you've got your little chain here. It's very nice. Now I need to do another row. So this is what we call chain one. Remember the base chain you did down here? You're going to go over, around, pull it through. That's chain one. And then you're going to turn your work. Okay, so that is your first base row. I highly recommend that you pull it out and do it as many times as you need to do until you're comfortable with it. Once you're comfortable with that, then you just go ahead and you're starting the process all over again. Okay, you're gonna skip the first one on your hook. You're gonna go right into there, pull up a loop, go through two, and you're gonna go back down the chain exactly the same way we just did it, only you're up another row, and it's a little easier to hold on to actually. Okay, so let's start from where we chained one. We're at the end of the first row. Okay, you're going to chain one and turn your work. Okay, get to that part. I'm telling you, do it over and over again. The more you practice, the better it'll be. And then what I'll do is on the next video, we're going to show you again how to start the second row and continue on till you can make a practice square. Okay, you've got to, in the back of your mind, couple things. Make sure your stitch count is the same. Okay, so I try not to count as I'm going because sometimes that throws me off. So I'll stop every once in a while and I'll count the tops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure I have, 15 is what we started with. So we're going to make sure we have 14 because remember, we skipped that first stitch right there. Okay. Also, another thing to keep in mind while you're working on this is your tension. I find that a lot of times when I'm teaching people, the tension of the chain row is a lot tighter. And then these start to get loose as you go along. Try to keep your tension consistent throughout your work. And that's another reason why you should pull it out, start it over, pull it out, start it over. So this is seriously crochet 101, very first step. Learn how to do the slip knot, the original chain base, and then a row of single crochet. I hope this helped you. I hope you're just starting your crochet journey And hopefully you learned a bit from this. All right, so hopefully you got a little bit out of that. Practice, practice, practice. The more you pull it out and start over, the better it's going to be every time you try it. Come back next time and we'll take it a step further. But this is a great way to start your crochet, and it is a great way to be creative. You have a great day, and I'll see you next time.